Okay, so this is the telescope we're going to be looking at tonight in this gorgeous weather. It is the Svbony 17mm refractor telescope.
Okay, so first things first, I am not being paid to talk about this telescope. Svbony got in touch with me and were kind enough to let me try this telescope out for free. This is the smallest model of their latest range and it can be purchased on their official website for as little as 317 Great British pounds. As you can tell, it's a very small telescope, but don't let that deceive you, as much like a neutron star, it is quite dense. The telescope is extremely well made, excusing the spelling error on the front. It comes with a dovetail bar and tube rings attached already, making it super easy to mount your telescope immediately after unpackaging it. It also comes with a number of accessories such as a finder scope and some eyepieces. They have also sent alongside it a Canon EOS camera mount and tube converter. This makes it possible to use your DSLR camera for imaging. My first impressions were that this was a very neat telescope. If the images it takes are half as good as it looks and feels, then we are surely onto a winner. I did try and cut them some slack. I have tried my best to use the most reasonably priced and budget-friendly accompanying equipment as possible. That is, a Canon 550D I purchased used for £80 British, and a Skywatcher tracking mount I purchased brand new for £300. So when you bundle all of this together, your total cost for a very nice astrophotography setup is just under £700. There are of course extras you may wish to purchase alongside these because you're a You're a fairly smart person. Top of your list would perhaps be a £10 shutter release cable, so that you can take images without having to hold a glove in front of a telescope for the first 3 seconds of every long exposure to reduce the effect of the vibrations caused by you pressing the shutter button on the camera. Yeah, it was a long night.
Okay, I think I finally got it set up and taken images, and the first star I've pointed at wasn't on purpose, but it happens to be the most left star in Orion's belt, which is where the Horsehead Nebula is located. Right now, I've managed to pick it up immediately, the Flame Nebula, which is fantastic. That's how you want to kick things off. You want to kick things off with the best objects. And if you hear rustling sound on the floor right now, by the way, that's my dog Max. He's just taking a poo, which will soon be frozen, by the way, almost immediately. So I've put the glove in front of the telescope because the first second I press the camera shutter, it's going to vibrate a little bit, and in the image itself gets a long exposure, it causes the stars to all shake a tiny bit. Hopefully that's been avoided. So I'm getting some good shots of the Flame Nebula. It is -6 degrees out here now, so I don't want to spend all night imaging the same target. You are going to be able to get some fantastic images with this, and with most of the things in astrophotography, the more time you put into it, the better it becomes. It's not a case of take one image, perfect, done. Like, the more images you stack on top of each other, the better the final product. Time is of the essence here though, because I'm starting to lose the feeling in my toes, and I do have a lot that I want to get through tonight. I'm shooting the Flame Nebula now. I'm going to go for the Orion Nebula straight after this. Alright, I'm just going to take one more image and then I'm going to move on to a different target now. So I've done the Flame Nebula and I'm hoping Horsehead Nebula. I've done the Orion Nebula and now I'm going to move on to, I'm going to go for the Pleiades. Just for simplicity, the Pleiades is just straight up there, which makes it a lot easier. And then if I have enough time and haven't frozen to death, I will try and rotate it that way and look for the Andromeda Galaxy. Glove in front of camera. Shutter button pressed down on a 30-second exposure and taken away. So I think the entire Pleiades cluster fits in perfectly within this frame shot here, which is a testament to the actual focal length of this, because it may be perfect for imaging this object. Normally it's a trade-off with the Pleiades. You normally see only a few of the stars at once because you're zoomed in so much, but we may be able to see all 7. It's not 7, there's a lot more than 7. Oh wow, yes, there are a lot more than 7. Yeah, I mean, in that shot just there, there's at least 100 stars. 100 stars in that image. You could faintly make out the dust clouds in the Pleiades. So I'm going to see if we can bring more of that detail out by taking more exposures and then later on stacking them in a freeware known as Deep Sky Stacker. So not adding any expense to the budget, you just need a bog standard laptop with fairly simple capabilities, it's nothing advanced, to take all these images, put them on top of each other, and create one masterpiece. Okay, yeah, so we might have to move our setup slightly in order to accommodate for the fact that we can't see the Andromeda Galaxy. It will literally be a case of just moving it about 6 foot that way to avoid the trees just there. So we've done all the cool stuff behind me just there. We've done Flame Nebula, Horsehead Nebula, Orion Nebula, and all the way up there, the Pleiades. I don't know how well you can make it out right now, but that's the Orion Nebula, or the constellation of Orion, sorry, just behind me over there. I am now going to adjust the setup here and point it up there towards the Andromeda Galaxy. You can use really helpful tools like Stellarium on your phone in order to pinpoint exactly where it is the object you're looking for, but as someone with 10 years of experience now, I'm just going to eyeball it and hope for the best. That's not very scientific. Right, I'm going to regret going on my knees.
That's what he said.
Because that's how it really gets you. It's how the cold really kills you, is when you let it touch a part of your clothing that then sort of soaks or becomes a lot more temperature. Words. Yep, cold's got to me now.
Yeah, so it turns out I actually had COVID at this point. And although I'm not an actual doctor, I'd like to offer you some free medical advice. And that is, regardless of your current health situation, try your best to avoid being outside in below freezing temperatures for more than 5 minutes, let alone 4 hours. And this is a big part of the reason as to why this video is being posted 7 months late.
Alright, so I'm going in blind. I'm going to be looking through the viewfinder just here. Phew. Andromeda is a tricky one, because it's not a star-like object, it is a sort of faint blurry patch of light, but it's not impossible to find. I just want to make sure this is in fact looking at the galaxy, and boy oh boy it is. That's nice. That's very nice. So, press the shutter, remove the glove, say hi to the dog. Hiya bud, hiya. You're nice and warm. Yeah. Good boy. Okay, and then hopefully this shot of Andromeda Galaxy looks really nice, and I only have to take 1 or 2, because if I take 1 or 2 shots, get them in the bag, perfect, I can call it a night, head inside, and then me and Max can watch some TV. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, that shot. One of the key features that you'll see on here is that we have a dual speed focuser. So all telescopes will have a focuser just like this, quite a big one, which allows you to make adjustments in terms of the focus. But then this golden dial on the end just here allows you to fine tune it, which allows you to very slowly adjust it and really get those pinpoint stars that make the astrophotography images that much more spectacular. And when it comes to imaging stuff like nebula, we want the picture to be as sharp as possible. And that golden dial there will allow us to do so. So it's very handy. You can see me moving around quite easily just here, and that is because it's fairly lightweight. I think it weighs about 4 kilograms, which means it is possible for it to go on a mount just like this one here. I've spent many nights in this exact garden where I've had a 10-inch Newtonian, which I had to take inside. And as you pick up the steel tube, it is very cold. It is very cold, it's quite heavy, and it's not exactly nimble. You have to carry it like this and carefully walk like a penguin in order to avoid falling over. Yeah, so overall, very impressed with this telescope, and I'm going to carry on monitoring Svbony's products going forward because they are relatively new to the game. The main leading telescope companies, as far as I've been aware growing up, have always been Celestron, Meade and Skywatcher. So now we have someone new to the game that is bringing in very good products at a very good price. So it's exciting looking forward to see what else they might bring to the game. Right, I think that'll about do it. I'm Damon Scotting, and this was an astronomical review.